What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. Today we're going to talk about some game news because THQ Nordic announced today that they're putting out a remaster of Red Faction Guerrilla. This is coming for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And first of all, let me get the bad news out of the way right up front. The game, of course, Red Faction, it's set on Mars, so they have deemed it necessary to call the game Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. Let me take that again from the top. Remastered. That's the real name of the game. Someone in a boardroom somewhere sees Remastered on a piece of paper and says, "Yup, that's good. That's gonna be amazing." This is maybe the worst named video game in the history of video games, but it doesn't detract from the underlying game itself. Red Faction Guerrilla is still a fantastic game. I loved this game when it first came out. It originally came out in 2009. It came out for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360, and the reviews it got at the time were kind of middling. People were mostly comparing it to Grand Theft Auto 4, which had come out very recently. And yeah, it doesn't hold up in some aspects to Grand Theft Auto. The world is a lot more open. The story is not quite as good, but it does really excel in very specific ways to Red Faction. First of all, it is this full world that is completely destructible. So it is a destruction playground. And the story is at least interesting if it's not, perfectly executed. But the real draw of Red Faction Guerrilla is the giant explosions that you're having and the chain reactions that you're setting off with all of your super fun destructive weapons. I have fond memories of just having gigantic towers toppling over on me because I chopped off their bottom halves. The game is a blast, and it's one of the first open world games that I wanted to just kind of experiment in and just set up these weird, ridiculous machines that were going to fall apart halfway through, but maybe they wouldn't, and it might be even crazier. I had a fantastic time with this game, and I know a lot of people didn't play it, so I'm really excited that more people might get a chance to look at this awesome open world destruction sandbox. Now, the other interesting part about this remaster that's coming out is the lineage of THQ. This game, of course, Red Faction Guerrilla in 2009, was originally released by THQ, and THQ kind of completely missed the point of what's fun about Red Faction and put out a follow-up to Guerrilla called Red Faction Armageddon. Now, when they completely missed the mark, they made Armageddon much more like a normal kind of corridor shooter. They took out a lot of the destruction and just sort of sandbox elements that made it such a blast. That game didn't do so hot. They lost a bunch of money on it, and THQ actually filed for bankruptcy in 2012. So THQ, as we knew it then, ceased to exist. And the rights to the Red Faction series got picked up by a company called Nordic Games. That happened in 2013. Now, Nordic Games bought Red Faction at that point, but then later went on and acquired the THQ name itself. So separately, they picked up the rights to THQ. And then in 2016, they renamed themselves to THQ Nordic. And I fully suspect that eventually they drop the Nordic entirely and just transition to calling themselves THQ. So while this game was originally put out by THQ and now is put out by THQ Nordic, they're completely different THQs. It is just the name that has transferred over to this new company. But THQ Nordic seems to really want to herald in this new era of Red Faction. Obviously, they bought the series for a reason, so maybe they want to revive it, and they're just kind of gauging interest with this remaster. That's certainly what I hope. At the very least, they maybe want to do other things or use the property in some other interesting ways. but they're starting here with putting Red Faction Guerrilla back out on the forefront. So I'm really excited to play a remastered version of this game that I loved, and really excited for more people to get to check it out. And even the terrible, terrible name of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered won't deter me. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me here on the show. Make sure that you like Pretty Dece on Facebook at facebook.com/PrettyDeceShow, and follow me on Twitter at PrettyDeceShow. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, which I highly recommend. You can find that at prettydeceshow.com/video, or just search for Pretty Dece on YouTube and you'll find it straight away. And of course, subscribe to the podcast so it comes straight to your phone. We are wherever podcasts are found, just recently released on Spotify even, so you can find us there. So make sure you follow and like and subscribe in all of those places so you never miss any of the content.